guys hey guys, welcome to my video on Excel tutorial. Today I'll take you through data validation. So data validation also is known as data restriction. You are restricting to a particular type of data of your choice. So we basically use data validation to control the type of data or values that the user will enter into a cell, and you can restrict that data to a valid entry or to a invalid entry, and also limit the choice of the user. So let's take an example and see how we are going to put validation on data. Okay, so here is our first criteria. So in the criteria, we have a table which says product, and the adjacent column says cost price of a particular product, and the criteria says cost price of any item should not be more than 100 or less than 50. So means the cost price to be entered by the user should be in a range of 50 to 100. He cannot enter 49 or he cannot enter 101. He need to enter with a range of 100 to 50. So we need to put a validation here so that the user is restricted between this particular range of 50 to 100. So how we will do that? Let's select this particular section in where the validation is to be applied. Okay, now in the data tab in the ribbon, we have an option of data validation. So data validation will help us to restrict that particular data. So let's click on data validation. So now here it is asking for validation criteria. Allow. So what is our validation criteria? Our validation criteria is the number between 50 to 100. So it's a whole number, right? So between, here you have option of between, not between, equal to. So our option is between. Minimum number is 50 and maximum number is 100. So we have set our option. Okay, now we will press OK here so that our validation is being applied. Now as soon as we press OK, our validation has been applied. Now we can enter here 50. Okay, let's suppose we enter here 49. Let's see what will happen to it. 49. See, it has returned that the value doesn't match the data validation restrictions defined in this defined for this cell. Means a value less than 50 cannot be entered in this particular cell. So let's check if we can enter 101, 101. Sorry, that has again been restricted because of data validation. So thus we can see that we can put a number between 50 to 100 only, not even 99 100.1, because if it is a decimal it won't enter. So only number between 100 and 50 can be entered. That's about a first part of data validation. Now let's see our next criteria, which will help us to create drop down list by using data validation. So in this list we have our criteria says to make a drop down in the status column so that the team leader is able to allot work to each member of choice. Drop down should contain allotted, rejected and under discussion. So let me explain this table to you first. So this is employee ID. These are the name of the employees and their positions and the area they are based in. Okay, now it is, you are told to select create a drop down in the status cell so that the whenever the manager wants to give any project, they should select here allotted, or they want to take it rejected, rather than writing it ALLOTED, they can directly select it from the drop down for each cell. So now how we will do that? So these are the three particular words which are to be written: allotted, rejected and under discussion. I have already written them here, as you can see. Already I have written them. So now this is my criteria. These three are the criteria. So I'll select this particular range, and I will go to data tab and select on data validation. So here my data validation criteria. So my validation criteria is list. So list, what is the source of that list? So ignore blank. If there is a blank, it will ignore. And in cell drop down, I want a drop down in my cell. So source the source of this criteria is this allotted, rejected and under discussion, and that is AO6 to AO8. And let me give you input message here that enter data, okay, and error alert that invalid entry. So now I press OK. So here when you select it, it will ask you enter data, so you can select okay, allotted for this person, under discussion for this person, and for this person also it is rejected, and for this person it is allotted. Thus the manager can very easily select the drop down. So here as we have given, we cannot type any other words, like we cannot type other words because it is not in my validation criteria. Whenever we will type other words or we want to enter invalid data, it will give us the error message which we have entered invalid entry. It will not take the data. So that is all about data validation. If you liked our video, please like, and if you have queries, comment. I will reply to your queries. Thanks for watching.